It is time for some FACEIT League. We're in week 1. We're in season 5. Season 5 has begun. We are here. The thing is happening. We're on day 2. We had a couple of fantastic matches yesterday. We got to start off with a doubleheader in EMEA. Surprise doubleheader. Gotta love it. We're getting a couple of new teams on today. So, Telacy Esports, well, TC is not necessarily new, but new to Expert. I believe they were in Advanced for the previous seasons. Oh, they went from Open to Advanced. They were in Advanced for Season 4, which is where I remember seeing them. But we're actually in an Open the season before that. So, you know, TEC on the steady climb. Look, I got 3rd place overall. They're in playoffs. Good enough to make that top 4, get that promotion. So they were guaranteed a slot here. They didn't have to fight through the qualifier matches here at the beginning of Season 5. Looks like they just got right on in on that performance from Season 4. I do believe Telacy Esports is... oh, no, this team is a rename. Aha! Ah, this was Tanuki Kirin. Gotcha. Which, I mean, did well enough to make playoffs in Season 4. Finished 7th overall. Went out a little bit earlier than they probably would have liked. Both of their matches they lost in the playoffs were 3-2s. Running into Potofu, they're in the very first upper bracket round 1, and then running into Quack, they're in the lower bracket round 2. There have been some changes from the Telacy Esports roster. Yukich being the notable one that I'm seeing here. So Yukich obviously playing tank for this squad back in Season 4. Not seeing Yukich here on this roster for Season 5. I don't remember if y'all know where Yukich landed, let me know. Yeah, thank y'all so much for being here. Enjoyed some T3 action. We get some EMEA Expert. Kind of keeping an eye on the next steps coming up through the scene. We are finally ready to get into your Tuesday match here. Telacy Esports taking on TEC. We're headed into Illios. That's enough of my ugly mug. Let's get into some Overwatch.
Ready for battle.
Yeah, car dealer. Unfortunately, it's the nature of how they built their replay viewer. Because basically the game plays out again every time. It doesn't save it like a video or anything like that. The game, it's just the movement and input information that is saved. So every time you go watch the replay, it basically plays out again every time. That's why, like, the ragdoll physics are different. If you watch, you know, the same player get killed a bunch of times, they'll ragdoll differently every time. Because it's still using the game engine and the game physics. It's just like all of the information has been predetermined on your inputs. But, like, unlike a game like, I don't know, Marvel Rivals, where they don't do that. And replays are persistent. Rog immediately cut down trying to take this high ground as we get Funky on the hazard and that aggressive approach alongside this Echo. Gonna yield a nice first cap here. Sorry, volume levels are a little loud. Let me get audio levels adjusted here for you, friends. There we go. That should be a little better. Transposition dotted cage. Echo sitting on top of the windmill itself, the lighthouse itself. See a push from far side. Going through cage. Woo! Clean little deflect, triple shot. And get that final blow. The deflect wasn't even really necessary. Coming in over the top. I kind of got isolated there on the back of the lighthouse. I was kind of flabbergasted. Like, oh, there's an Echo. Just kind of ended up falling by themselves back there. Well, it remains of both of our teams now clashing on the point, but Rock and the rest of Telacy aren't really able to find entrance despite finding some early picks. Oh, Wolf, I appreciate it. I appreciate you being here. Recall force out of the trace. Probably your most vulnerable target at the moment. Very, very sturdy defense here with iQuiet staying so far in the back. It makes it difficult to pounce on the team. We're trying to close that gap. Now using a Dragon Blade to combo with it. Sound barrier in, but Ackerman's already fell to the blade. So that will buy a little bit of time. iQuiet's able to at least, you know, get rid of the duplicate. With 50 health, they have to scurry back towards this Mega. Ooh, and the stickies. ABC almost just dashed out of there, but could not escape. Ackerman was waiting for him up top. 99% on the board for TEC. Consider rush tossed in. Combat is here with a sound barrier if they need it. He's not going to pull the trigger on it. Gets melted by the focusing beam. Confident the team can hold out this 0 to 99, and ooh, with the duplicate in play, may just end up being overwhelming. Combat will take that sound barrier with them to the respawn room. We're not going to get it this map. Can't hold on to it for round 2. It's a 100-0. Start things off.
Ready for battle.
Second with the Hazard Echo comp. Who is our Tracer player here? Give me. I'm not familiar enough to just pull the Expo. Okay, Expo is our Tracer player there for TEC. And I believe the Echo is Kylo Ren. The Echo with the streamer tag on, I believe it's Kylo Ren. Hey, you know what? It's week 1. I mean, I'm still learning these rosters and stuff. You'll have to bear with me. Once again, we got first cap from TEC. We're trying to see if they can isolate Kylo Ren. Doesn't land the stickies, but hones in with that focusing beam. 5 that kill. It was a good payload, but it ends up being a 2-for-2 trade with ABC comes up with a third pick in this fight. Threatening for another one here. That is Quick's very low. Couldn't quite keep track of him, but Otacon there for the backup. 2v1 left on the point. Actually, that was a 3v1. Both supports were still there. Great fight out of ABC. Able to get Pulse Bomb on the back of that. Pico does also have Pulse on the other side. Otacon having to sell Suzu after a beautiful volley, and Pico comes in for the second clip. He's going to find the kill. This will give a huge advantage to Ackerman, assuming they can stay alive through this. Clearly under a bit of pressure in their own right. ABC with a Pulse Bomb. No Suzu here for Ackerman. There was a window that could have been very dangerous, but good peel. ABC is kept at bay. Ackerman and the rest of TEC do reflip the point. Yeah, ABC still deep in enemy territory. You see the bottom right-hand side of your screen. Kylo Ren comes over to Joy, and ABC emerges from their hidey hole, try to converge onto this Kitsune rush. Attention turned on to Ackerman in the back line, who did invest their own ultimate. We got both duplicates in play. One onto a Lucio, as a matter of fact, and one onto a Hazard. We are going to get... Oh, we do not get the bonus sound barrier. ABC sticks iQuiet, and Ajax is an Echo sound barrier. Quicks ends up going down to combat, and we're going to get a flip here from Telacy. That was wild. not very often you see an Echo Ajax on an actual sound barrier. Obviously, you know, it doesn't mean as much, but still a great play from ABC. That could have been double sound barriers into that fight for TEC. I think Quicks actually held on to theirs because iQuad is able to build theirs up. And so Quicks doesn't drop theirs into that fight. iQuad gets theirs canceled. Now we get Quicks sound barrier. Rug low after they throw the downpour in. Coming in to catch Ackerman, who's a bit underwear, but iQuad's got eyes on the flank. Able to find not only Rug, but Kylo Ren as well. 95% flip in favor of TEC. Combat will get a touch, but it'll eventually fall there to the jagged block. Or is it the jagged wall? Kylo Ren coming up with a pick. Oh, I was going to say, if ABC could have done something with that pulse, there might be a chance here. Pico is still low on this objective. There's no ultimates for Telacy to work with. They're trying to claw back in this overtime fight. Do manage to actually get possession of the point. Run coming in off the rooftops, dropping in on a pair. We'll at least get the Suzu out of Ackerman. Ackerman's so close to that Kitsune. That would have been a great pick. As it stands, Ackerman's alive, and the Fox is here. Whoa! Good job from Telacy. Kind of take the fight back off the point. Minimizing the value out of that Kitsune rush just by forcing the fight into a different location. But still, Telacy are down one in this fight. Rug able to avoid the downpour, but no adaptive shielding here and very little health to work with. Trying to just kind of dance into the sight lines of Otacon here and get some healing of food up, but overwhelming damage. The ball won't last any longer than that. 97-99. Telacy still kind of struggling to stabilize here. Sound barrier now thrown in from Combat. Otacon is going to answer with a Kitsune rush. Combat will leverage that ultimate into a pick. ABC's throwing Qs into this as well. Quick, so close to the sound barrier. Telacy going to close this out. They need to do it fast. Icon gets booped in after duping the Lucio. Oh, no. Gets rid of their wings, and Quicks immediately takes advantage. The sound barrier in for a little extra sustain. And this final fight's going the distance. Rug is able to get a slam down kill, has mines to work with. Point flips. A one Ackerman easily ran over, and Telacy somehow hang on through this incredible long fight.
Area denied. Score 1-1. Ready for battle.
We're seeing some real tenacity out of Telacy Esports on that one. My goodness.
4, 3, 2, 1. Round 3. Capture the objective.
All right, Aquai pulls out of Fora. Fight for Mega going on here. Early map control was favoring Telacy. It was a pretty slow approach out of TEC, just trying to use the fire, pepper, and some extra damage. You see, now we finally get iQuad trying to make a move, but Combat already picked up two. And a good fight along the coastline where a mismatch was brilliantly created by Telacy. They happily just took advantage of all the space I was given to them, including getting that important mega control. Second approach in from Funky. Oh, good disengage. I thought that Kylo Ren was going to be able to get out of there. Was trying to stay at arm's length there from Funky. Otacon. What a great answer. So despite losing one first. Telacy Esports strikes back. Otacon in particular. Kind of with 2 important kills. Almost has got a third. Whoop. Little swift step to avoid the pulse. And there's that final blow. Pico making a swap over to a Cassidy here. So no more Tracer. Looks like iQuiet making a change as well. What are we going to? Okay. iQuiet's pulling out the Tracer. Interesting. Okay, so that's some interesting flexibility there from TEC, where your hit scan can pull off that Tracer roll, and all of a sudden, PK making this swap into the cast. We already saw the immediate pick onto combat, a lot of damage and subsequent pressure onto Rug. Beautiful shot, finish off ABC. Both iQuiet and Pico have managed to build up 50% towards that first soul after just making the swap. Great change there from TEC. They're going to flip this point. How many points to win? 2 on the map. 3 maps will win the series. I don't know if you're maybe not an Overwatch enjoyer. You're here to support a friend or something, but not all maps have the same win conditions. But on Control, 2 points will win the map. Forgive me if you know all this, but I'm not going to assume. Woo! Quicks just barely got that down. Wow, that was close. Quicks gets a kill on Otacon, lands a 1 health point beat to keep TEC in control. The block from Funky, but they're so low. Funky had 23 health, was just backing out trying to find heals, but the swarm of Kylo Ren, ABC, and Rug end up just bowling over. It was like a bowling ball with missiles attached to it. 90% on the board. Deadeye, only ult available here. Trying to get a quick pick in the neutral with time running down. It's Funky leaping onto the point with some space provided by this Deadeye. Roll through combined with mines. Ooh, that wall. Put Pico down to 15 health. They're trying to scramble. Spin to win's gonna find the headshot. Jumping onto the point, into the minefield. Funky nowhere to go. Gets pushed into one of those glowy balls of death. And that's gonna be the map. Telacy will start us off with the 1-0 lead. Okay. Can't ask for a better control map than that. I mean, go on the distance. Go on the distance. So now TEC will have map pick. They can choose between any game type. Escort, hybrid, flashpoint, or, well, push. And, well, they're going to choose Circuit Warrior. We're headed to Escort for map 2. A very interesting pick from TEC. This is one of those outlier maps that either you're trying to play Brawl on a very long sightline map, or you have a lot of faith in your poke comps. Sigma banned out from TEC. Okay, it's going to be the former. We're not getting poke comps here. This is a cool move. Pick a poke map and ban out the poke tank. Not entirely original, but still a cool move. Let's see. We are going to get Telacy starting on the attack. So I'm going to go ahead and swap those sides for you so I don't forget. All right, since we know our first ban, we can go look at some stats now. Yeah, stats. I love stats. It's a good question. It's a good question, week 777. You know, perhaps it was a difference in just the different geometry of the 3 map types. So a lot of room for the hazard to work on Lighthouse, and when you're kind of in the engagement area, when you're within striking distance on Lighthouse to where you can actually get some kind of APM going, you're within striking distance of the hazard, right? It's very difficult to avoid that hazard's distance. That's, I mean, that's kind of thinking back on it. I think that was one, I think it was really just, they play well in the hazard comp, and Lighthouse was the best map for hazard, was the best sub map of Illios for hazard. Yeah, that's just my speculation. Team fights look very, very even. Only with fewest deaths in the lobby. Ole, who's playing under, was it not Blitz? Funky. All right, that's enough copyright-free music. We're about ready to head into map number 2. Let's see what that second band was. What was it? It was a Tracer. Tracer band from Telacy. Oh, I hear the Yari. Oh, we're gonna get a little bit. Okay, let's go. This is interesting. We also get Pico pulling out the Freya. What a fascinating comp. Juno, Yari, Freya, Farah? With a Ramatra holding front court. This is a wild comp. I love it. Now, clearly, Iquad likes the Farah. I'm an air specialist, is what I'm gathering so far. That rings true from what I remember from previous seasons. Haven't had Iquad on stream a whole lot. Oh, we're getting pure brawl with a 7 teleporter here out of out of Telacy. Maybe see, looking around, grab some high ground. I always forget about this little route. I always forget those stairs lead up there now. It was such a cool change. No one ever uses it either. You never see that window used. All right, we're gonna teleport move. Here we go. Slowly but surely, the ball able to buy some space. Now trying to snag some high ground. Take on the Pico. Goes a long way. That is the burst damage, the bulk of the burst damage, taken off the threat remove. Take it off the table. And this has just been a systematic dismantling. Every time that TEC try to find cover, you got ABC's, and Cynthia for that matter, and Kylo Ren. We're right there to just start putting shots into the cover. It was kind of half step back, you know, for the defense, half step forward. They would just take that space away time and time again. And that great opening pick really put TEC on the back foot. Telacy now with an enormous time back. Rug was about 50 health. That was actually, I mean, that was one bar. That was sub 25. Aggressive Captain Sun as Ackerman comes off the top ropes. He's going to hit 3 with that. That's enormous. What a play on Ackerman in the back. Oh, I love a good ER play. And Ackerman just showed everybody the sun. Simple in theory, brilliant execution. Gotta love it. And that ultimate's just so damn deadly. You know, you don't get to see a lot of ER. Pretty niche hero. One of my favorite to play. I mean, underrated when we talk about, you know, hero releases. Oh, speaking of new heroes. Looks like the Bolo will try to get thrown in. Quad throws in a barrage as well. Trying to catch Telacy as they all moved into that little hallway underneath the street here. Picks have been traded, but Telacy is very stuck. Rug in particular is very stuck. ABC provides enough coverage that Rug somehow gets out of safety. They are the only one.
We're in this together.
ABC decides they need a little bit more range. Cass isn't going to cut it, fighting up the chicane here. Okay, never mind. Scratch that, Soj. Okay, it's Cynthia. I don't know if we got a sub. Yeah, we did get a sub. Cynthia did sub in for Kylo Ren, so that tracks. That tracks. I was like, wait a minute, was it just Cynthia playing on map 1 with the streamer mode on? But no, I double checked. Kylo Ren was starting and now he's on the bench. So that's one thing with the streamer mode, all right? It makes it a little difficult to recognize subs. So yeah, sorry I'm a little late on that call, but yes, Cynthia has subbed in here for this second map to pull out this Freya. Orbital Ray tossed in, try to fight the Annihilation out from Rog. Cynthia is able to fight too. Should have just left you on some Cynthia pods. Now throws out the bullet to close out a third. Let's go. Also, what is that skin? I love that skin. Oh, it's one of the heart skins. It's actually a really cool skin. I didn't see it, Power. I mean, I don't think they so much announce it as, like, Ob Sojourn is usually on top of it, like, as, I don't know, inside scoop. Oh, enormous Captain Sun again! Ackerman! Oh, my! It just seems like a guaranteed fight win. Ackerman gets 4 on that one. Impeccable. Gets up to the high ground, perfectly timed. Just waits for Telacy to just take those precious few steps forward. Then Ackerman moves up to that high ground and drops the Sun in from above. Now, this is the first time I've seen the Sojourn combined with the Freya. So far, we've seen Freya as like the hit scan role, even though not really a hit scan hero, but you know, play more. Freya is playing ranged. And then combined with a flanker like Tracer or Genji. But this is the first time we've seen the Sojourn combined with the Freya. And using the Freya as the flanker. Although they are both just kind of playing side by side. Move up, 5 kills. Fortunately, Cynthia drops, leaving ADC a little isolated. Although Cynthia does get a kill onto the tank. Concussive barrage. Woo! So he just jumps right up out of it. Oh, and Amp Matrix plus Freya is just nasty. Bolo thrown in, Transcendence thrown in. Telacy want to close this out here and now. They're investing every single ult they have available to them. They're able to find a pick on the Quicks, and I think it's going to be enough. Funky is low. Not in, there's no ultimates here to try to cheat this one out. Likewise, well, they're open to do it in the neutral, but Rug had all the cooldowns they need. But yeah, Power, to elaborate on that, I think Ob Sojourn just gets the inside scoop and will tag a bunch of us and be like, "Hey, careful! There's a reset coming."
Initiating match.
That did not happen. That did not happen this time. If it did, I missed it. They're just painful enough that I wish they would avoid that whenever possible. Like, I can understand at the start of a season, maybe even mid-season patch. But they should be predictable, and they should not be every 2 weeks. Yeah, it's just, yeah, the unexpected aspect, like where they just drop on your, by the way, everything's reset. And it feels like they just do it so frivolously. I mean, they legit dropped a patch that changed nothing. That changed absolutely nothing. It was like a small bug fix patch and reset all of the replay codes. And it was for like the smallest bug fix patch. It's like, that's... Come on. No, it's not that the 2-week patch is unexpected, but I would like to see them be more thoughtful in the way they craft those patches. Because we know they've released patches that don't wipe replay codes. Like, there are ways to do it, they've done it. Now, obviously, there can't be major patch changes. Either that or fundamentally change the replay viewer works so that it's not reliant on being on the same exact patch number as the live client. You know, there is also that. Doesn't are sticking with the Soj Freya here on this defense. Sorry, I know I've been just kind of ranting about the replay viewer. I apologize. We'll lock in. We'll lock in. Yeah, we're talking about Ackerman in chat. Ackerman leading the server in ult charge. Has another one of these captive suns ready to go. We saw 2 enormous ones on the defense. This one not going to cut it. Just didn't quite land. I think the one person that might have got hit by it was Combat and they died. With the Ant Matrix up and down their tank. TEC are forced to withdraw. Pico does have Bolo ready to go. God, Bolo combined with Captive Sun could be a mean combo. Didn't land the direct shot. You saw Akai trying to follow. The order race toss right on the corner. Rugged pops Annihilation, hoping that it would last. But their own orbital doesn't get there in time. Combat drops that way back in the fight. Like kind of halfway down the straight. So it doesn't reach the actual engagement, you know, by the time things have truly broken out. Really well placed out of Quicks to get there so up in front of the fight. I was very surprised when Quicks' orbital hit just how far forward it was. Very well placed. And that's the difference maker in that fight. Funky doesn't have to spend Annihilation, can use this massive sustain ult to hold this choke. Of course, you do have the OC. Gotta respect the OC as such. Yeah, there will be no chokehold here. TEC backing up. That's going to be an overclock with an Ant Matrix. Not quite its blade. Just doesn't even get close. ABC didn't look bothered at all. Didn't even raise their pulse with that Dragon Blade. Cool as a cucumber. This defense will hold with just under 3 minutes to go. Oh, that was mean. Poor Ackerman. That was just mean. Using all 3 of the dashes to try to get that kill in. Now trying to go in, combine Bolo with the Captive Sun. As mentioned, Ackerman's able to get one on the back of it, and then supporting one on the combat. With Funky finishing off Autocons, no more defense sustain. No more defensive sustain, defensive supports, whatever I was trying to say. There's no more of it. It's gone. TEC destroyed your backline and then just put on that cute little froggy smile as they did it. Now I have an orbital way to close this out if necessary. We will not get a recontest. And still, I mean, a clean fight win from TEC. No touch, no ultimate spent, and you buy all this space in the entry to the hotel. with a massive orbital advantage. I imagine that orbital will be used on the all-important corner. Right here. We'll see how this battle for high ground goes. The entirety of Telacy coming to take it back. And they do not want to let Pico set up here. Or PKO. They do successfully thwart that attack. Combats build up towards their orbital. Quick speed swings themselves to get outside as this fight's taking place around the pool. Orbital Ray thrown right over the statue. Doesn't look like they're getting a whole lot of value out of that. I mean, I guess the point is, I mean, Combat invested their orbital on the other side. Funky has managed to continue to slowly but surely inch away space here. Pops the Annihilation for a little extra armor. Has the pylon that are trying to back him up. Ackerman throws in the Captive Son to fight Otacon. Jumps in. Gets a swipe and a shot onto Combat. Returns in to throw a pylon down low as the fight has migrated down onto the point. Rug gets melted down as Funky wins the staring contest. Blade up from Iquad. There to secure this cap, and they will do so with roughly 30 more seconds in the bank than that of Telacy Esports.
Score 3-3. Switching sides. Initiating match. Ready for battle.
It's Expo. Excuse me, I got the name wrong of the Freya player here from TEC. XPO, excuse me. Forgive me on that one. Somewhere I got my acronyms all backwards. Cynthia has already taken the X Factor of Ackerman out of this with a well-poised bolt to the dome. XPO very low. "17 seconds." With the fray, it's like a double aerial threat there from iQuiet and XPO. We're gonna get this cart to this final corner, and this one's gonna get nasty. We're still about 2/3 of the way to ult. Keep an eye on Rug. Come up with the first one online here. iQuiet putting some shots in. Looks like all guns were pointed at the tank here for the moment. A little shot style range, but right now it is a deadly tank battle up front. Rug 92% to Funky's 80 on the Annihilation. Nemesis form pop. Rug got the rest of it. It's going to push forward. ABC's able to find a kill in that back line. Orbital Ray tossed in from Quicks. Combat still 10% away. Outlaw has the Ant Matrix up. Excuse me. Otacall has the Ant Matrix up in the back here. And with the Annihilation, isn't going to be enough. Funky tries to push through. Ackerman responds to the Captive Son, but there's nobody there to hit. ABC low, but they get the cap. They get the point. ABC drops in to get the kill. Telacy muscle their way over the line, but lose their judo here at the very end. I was looking, Rav. Okay, I've been very busy. I actually did remember. I did a brief look and didn't find it in my initial, very brief search. I got you, Rav. I got you. Oh no!
Justice reigns from above. Score 3-4. Switching sides. Initiating match.
I was not expecting that. Was not expecting that. I don't know if the Bolo just pulled somebody too far off. If Rug just took a step off of the point. It looked like Rug was the one anchoring. Wow, I was not expecting that. Okay.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Attackers incoming. Stop the game.
Rug leading her 20,000 damage. 7k over Funky at the moment. Try to hold the line, move up to match point. Bakuman Ayaris truly has seemed to been a big difference maker so far through this map. Otacon has the fundamentals and the extra healing, you know, put out by the bat, but not nearly as flashy. And it doesn't have that finishing power of those captive sons. Ackerman and TEC hoping to build that one up here. Only about halfway to it when Otacon's going to find first blood here on this extra innings push. ABC follows up. Still 45 seconds on the clock. Plenty of time for a regroup. Yeah, that was a giant Charlie Niner. That was a giant Charlie Niner. But rugging all that damage as an early annihilation here. Cynthia will not get a chance to use their ultimate. Quicks is going to throw it into orbital. Combat's still about 25% away. This is a huge advantage. It's just Rug's annihilation to try to hold. To say, watch for the Ant Matrix. The double healing could be critical here. Rug is able to use that ultimate to find one kill. Here comes the Captain Sun over the top. ABC takes him down. Chopped out of the sky from the overclock. ABC will hold the line. A beautiful 3Ps to propel Telacy up to match point. All right. Hybrid flashpoint push to choose from. Oh, big stretch. Sorry, trash trucks outside. It's over here, like slamming, like big giant slamming and stuff. There's a big old trash truck right just outside my office. All right. Hollywood pick here from TEC. Hey, well, you know they had some awesomeness up their sleeves for that one. It was really cool kind of seeing the Freya variation on the poke composition, though. Where we get the Freya with the Soj and then the Bat Juno to back it up. All right, well, we'll get TEC attacking first. Okay, wait. The 100 soldiers versus 1 gorilla is actually live?
But we'll
That would be so unfair.
All right, we're gonna have to go close. Wait a minute. Now I'm gonna go close stream some of that when we're done here. I didn't know that was live right now. All right. So Telacy banning out the hazard, no doubt. Brig ban from TEC. Okay, thank you, Copyright for music. But it's time to head into Hollywood.
Ready for battle.
Cynthia staying in for Telacy. And you can see showing us the Torbjorn here on this defense.
Okay, another mission. Man, I'm so excited.
Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. Attackers incoming.
Funky on the Diva is an interesting new look coming out on this attack. Well, look at Lucio Curie. Very divey composition here with the Freya. And I think this is kind of another new look. This is the first time we've seen Freya kind of used in a full-on dive setup. You know, combined with Lucio Curie, combined with the Diva, and then of course the Genji there. Well, to get 1v2 down by Mega. I was saying to help provide some pressure on the off angles, but fortunately got a little outclassed on that one. Rugga's gonna shoot up past the choke here, see if they can find a pick. We'll get the D-Mech onto Funk. Funky swapping over to... Oh, thought about a Maga. Stuck with the D-Mech. They're like, oh, let's give this another go. I mean, this is a very anti-dive comp here out of Telacy with the Cassidy and the Torb. BitKid, thank you for the follow. Says ref, do something. Dive it in, Funky's gonna do something. Immediately takes care of Otacall. Now, still a 44 on the point. Oh, and a beautiful headshot from ABC. Followed up by a kill onto Quicks. ABC drops in, pushes aggressively against those supports. Yeah, I mean, if they're still going power, I will co-stream the 100 gorillas. Sure, why not? Or the 100 soldiers versus 1 gorilla. Sure, it sounds fun. I mean, I would rather, personally, that this match just keeps going. And we get some fantastic competitive Overwatch. But, you know, if there's nothing else going on, sure, we'll go to it. Deadeye Annihilation up from the defense. Somehow Icon gets caught by that. Quick sound barrier fades, and ABC comes in with another pair of kills. Dude, ABC is nasty on this Cassidy. Oh no, Funky's just caught it. And poor Funky. Oh no. I was watching the approach up top. Did not see Funky put themselves into that spot. I was keeping an eye on XPO up top. Well, one good molten core, one good fight win. Here from the defense of Telacy. 40 seconds to go. No percentage picked up yet. We do have a couple of ultimates to work with. Blade and Bolo. Headshot landed. Got the regenerative burst there out of the map, but unfortunately wasn't able to do much more than that. Perhaps did buy some time as iQuiet has looped around through Alley successfully this time around. Bolo now tossed in. Alley's side. Sound barrier thrown in and try to help Cynthia. Cynthia is going to come out, and ABC's going to pop the Deadeye. Deflectius, Funky trying to hide on the cart. Nobody hit from the Deadeye. Rolling back into the hallway. Funky's going to give chase with the Annihilation. Small protection from the turret. Funky does not want to pursue. He's just going to stay on this point. Try to lock this down. Kitsune rush to dissuade the two DPS from pushing through hallway. Okay, so that's the key for 100 soldiers to beat one gorilla. Just kite the gorilla to a door they can't fit through. Heard. Whoop. AC has been so nasty this map. I mean, I saw they actually had, like, people on the main stream. I mean, obviously you heard Reinforce come through my stream there briefly. TEC maintaining high ground control. They're able to block the alleys, so Rug can't just push onto the cart. Really nicely played. Good use of space as they just kind of slowly shift back and forth. Unfortunately, Cynthia does land not only a kill onto Expo, but onto Ackerman as well, as they did find a way through, as they look like went through the bar, through the tavern, whatever that is. Saloon, excuse me, saloon. Now, Otacaw's amateur C's have not been extremely impactful, but crossing this bridge could be very difficult. Likewise, going to have to use a blade to get in there. Does pump the sound barrier out here from Telacy. Still, Otacaw will get cut down as they stubbornly tried to hold his high ground in the face of that dragon blade, and it does not work out. Small victory for Combat in the corner. The TEC are going to win this war. I mean, at least the war for that fight? Something like that. We will get a recontest. So my initial thought wasn't entirely true. Kitsune rush. Try to solidify this cap with 12 seconds to go. The only ult available, I guess self-destruct from Funky as well. Molten Core thrown on to the point. Funky not really able to leverage a lot of the extra speed off of that Kitsune rush. A huge flank out of ABC to find Quicks with this Deadeye. Now coming in with Combat Move in and clean up with range, but Aquai's not going down without a fight. He's already managed to trade out Cynthia. 31 health versus Combat, who's about 50. Combat sneaks inside for the mini. Gets hit in the face by the bolt. Great clutch there from Expo. Heavy fight for this high ground. Both teams were invested in some manpower to make sure they control that top side. We didn't get the drop down here from Rog. Volo does make it through the shield. And that's going to be enough with the focus of Aqua and Funky. Really nice call there. Found the perfect timing while ABC was making a rotation to try to make another one of those big flanks. Expo's going to end up winning that duel as well. Well-placed ultimate there from Expo. Now Rug trying to come back onto this point. There's another Matrix out of Otacon, but Ackerman has a considering rush into this fight, and Funky's already pushed in past the window. Defense Matrix in the face of ABC. Self-destruct in the face of ABC. Was hoping to get the kill on the pilot, won't find it. Was hoping for anything. It ends up just being a full cap here. No time left in the bank, though.
Switching sides. Initiating match. Ready for battle.
ABC 17-4, leading the DPS in damage right now, almost leading the server in damage.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Attackers incoming.
Pulling on a Soch. Telacy going the attack, try to close out the series, or at the very least, setting us into some extras. Their primary goal being to finish with more than a minute in the clock, obviously, not even give TEC a chance to respond, but, you know, early shots are any indication. It looks like Expo has other plans, too. Quick, swift picks. Even got some good damage there on Cynthia. The headshot from that bolt landed. One of the cool things I kind of heard talk about with Freya is that you should always have a sightline advantage, just with the mobility of this hero. And you can do things like this that they should not be prepared for. Unfortunately, just a touch off the marker to try to get the double tap down. Maybe he's able to slide back to safety. I will say this is the most consistent Freya gameplay as far as consistently used. We've seen Freya kind of just come out in very small, very small quantities yesterday. Follow it over the top. The Suzu was used to help protect against not only the damage, but the pull-in as well. Kitsune Rush is going to leverage into a 1v1 trade. Rug able to isolate Funky inside security room. Now he's going to follow them back out, keep the pressure on. Funky's burned through all their cooldowns. Back against the wall, but woo, here comes the peel. Here comes the backup. We all got by with a little help from our friends. And, well, at least iQuiet's going to make Rug's mission very dangerous. Although, in the end, it does look like Telacy will grab this first point. Dash through. iQuiet comes in for the touch. Immediately goes down. We are going to get an orbital invested from Quicks as well. I don't know if there's anybody else here to really take advantage of it, though. So a very high intensity, high output ultimate used very early. High value ultimate used, I mean, very late, very early into point, but very late on that recontest. Quicks does swap over to a Lucio here. So they do move into more of a Lucio Fury look. Perhaps that was the plan all along. Good blade from Cynthia. Once again, gives this advantage back over and keeping TEC very off balance. TEC have not been able to really stabilize whatsoever here on point B. Trying to keep pushing up to that high ground, but get caught off in the alley there by the blade that time around. Now pushing in towards the jail. Colosseo is thrown over the point. Rug jumps down. Getting into the thick of things. Cynthia moving in from behind the team. Dashes through everybody. iQuiet's got the blade. Beat down from combat to help fight it. Rug throws the Terror Surge into the mix. Putting Quicks into a corner. I was going to say nobody puts Quicks into a corner, but apparently Rug just did. Expo trying to invest the Bolo into this, but ABC had the ult to counter. And there was just not enough punching power to get through this one. Telacy will move on into the studio with, I mean, an enormous time bank. Nearly 4 minutes to work with. Not quite going back. You know, we talk about how, you know, perhaps just favors the flying heroes, a little bit of a comfort pick. So I don't feel like there's a whole lot of room to far to work on this point. But I will say, iQuiet's trying to take advantage of every inch of this geometry to try to create angles. ABC briefly stepping in and trying to deny it. Had to slide out of there. Couldn't fight iQuiet that close in that tiny little hallway. And demanding a rotation back around over towards Mega. But iQuiet stays in deep. Couple of rockets do force the backline back, but great spear, followed up by a shot from ABC. iQuiet flying too close to the sun. And that sun's name is Rug. They're gonna pressure all the way back. Ackerman low, didn't have the cooldowns to get away. And this defense just falling apart. Soundbarrier's gonna be the last ditch effort here. Can anybody even get to the point? No, the energy chaff will deny the touch, interrupts the flight from Funky. And it's a 2-minute, 18-second time bank for Telacy, denying TEC an opportunity and an attack here. The draw is what TEC is fighting for. Just now hoping to send us into map 4 at all. Nope, I tried to make it through the door before it closed. 2 minutes to work with, a little over. Enough time to guarantee an ult cycle. This is going to be a long 2 minutes for TEC. Definitely doable. First stage, not to lose anybody early in the neutral. Probably a big energy jabs coming in from Rog. Oh, or Cynthia able to fight Ackerman. Big spear sends Funky down to the low ground, and Otacol comes up with a second kill in the fight. This is looking like the beginning of the end. 5v3, 5v2, as Otacol finds another one. Funky with half health here, no cooldowns to work with, no Nemesis for him to fall back on. And that will be the series. Telacy will take a 1-0 start here in Season 5. Let's look at some stats. Very close map. ABC with fewest deaths, 28 and 5. Cynthia actually has the most elims, but man, ABC 28 and 5, 14k damage. You did get Expo catching up in the damage department. You did get Expo catch up. Rimuru, thank you for the follow. I appreciate you. Rug was a powerhouse all day low. You actually had TC had most damage. What was it? Not Funky. Funky had most damage in map 1. But maps 2 and 3 were the Rug was able to take most damage at 31 and 6 at 24k damage. I mean, head and shoulders above anybody else in the lobby there on circuit. Incredible performance. ABC with 35 elims. Once again, also had most elims well, close to it. Or had most elims on map 2. I guess didn't have it in map 3. It was closer to map 3. But had most elims on map 2. Did have most damage as far as DPS on that map as well. But Rug really, man, putting out the hurt there on map 2. My goodness.